Hello, champions. You're tuned into Hell Turn Inside, where WWE passion never stops. Subscribe now, and let's powerbomb through the latest updates. Saturday night. The lights were blinding, the crowd was electric, and the world was watching. NBC's primetime stage wasn't just another wrestling show. It was WWE proving why it still defines spectacle. But no one expected what came next. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, two men who spent years destroying each other, suddenly stood side by side. The same brothers who tore the Shield apart just teamed up again. And the result shook the industry. Because this wasn't nostalgia. This was chaos, power, and storytelling colliding in the most shocking way possible. The reunion nobody saw coming for years. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have been defined by one thing: betrayal. Since the night Rollins broke up the Shield with that steel chair in 2014, their stories have run parallel, but never together. Every match they've had since then dripped with bitterness, with history. Rollins was the man who said he'd never stand beside Roman again. Roman was the one who swore he'd never forgive him. That's why Saturday night's main event on NBC felt like a glitch in the universe. Seeing them on the same side of the ring wasn't just shocking. It was emotional whiplash. But here's what made it even crazier. It worked. The setting, WWE's Grand Showcase. Saturday night's main event isn't just another show. It's a statement. It's WWE taking its biggest stories and placing them on a national stage in front of millions of casual viewers. Triple H knew exactly what he was doing when he booked this match. He knew fans would be divided, that social media would melt down, and that wrestling podcasts would be talking about it for weeks. This wasn't just a fight. It was WWE reminding the world why it dominates live entertainment. Rollins and Reigns, once enemies, now had to coexist against two of the most dangerous forces in the company, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Meet the monsters, Breakker and Reed. Bron Breakker is wrestling royalty, the son of Rick Steiner, nephew of Scott Steiner. His bloodline is legendary. But Breakker isn't just living off legacy. He's forging his own. His intensity is unmatched. His explosiveness is scary. He's been tearing through superstars with spears and suplexes that shake the ring. Then there's Bronson Reed, the 330-pound powerhouse known as the Tsunami. A man who moves like a wrecking ball, combining brute strength with shocking agility. These two together felt unstoppable. They dominated both Raw and SmackDown, leaving a trail of broken challengers. No one, absolutely no one, expected Rollins and Reigns to be the ones to take them down. An uneasy alliance. From the opening bell, you could feel the tension between Rollins and Reigns. Their teamwork wasn't smooth. It was tense, almost fragile. Every tag looked forced. Every glance carried history. The crowd knew it too. They chanted. They cheered. But underneath it all was anticipation. Would they implode before they even began? Breakker and Reed used that hesitation to their advantage, pummeling both men with devastating double-team moves. For the first few minutes, it looked like this reunion was doomed before it started. The shift. When old instincts return. Then something changed. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was survival. But suddenly, Rollins and Reigns started moving like they used to. The chemistry, the unspoken rhythm that made the Shield unstoppable, snapped back into place. Rollins hit a flying knee. Reigns followed with a Superman punch, and the crowd went wild. The coordination was seamless, almost eerie. It was as if time had folded back, and for a few minutes, the betrayal never happened. The fans who grew up on the Shield could feel their hearts pounding. The nostalgia hit, but so did the realization. These two were unbeatable when united. A victory with questions attached. The aftermath was pure tension. The referee raised both their arms. The fans screamed. Roman, ever the leader, extended his hand, a gesture of truce, of brotherhood. But Rollins didn't take it. He just stared. Then, without a word, he turned and walked away, leaving Roman in the ring alone. That single moment said more than any promo could. It told us that while they could fight side by side, forgiveness was still miles away. The bond was fractured, not fixed. The online explosion, within minutes, social media exploded. Hashtag Shield Reunion trended worldwide. Fans were split in half, some calling it the greatest twist of the year, others calling it the biggest betrayal of continuity in years. How can Seth forgive Roman? How can Roman trust Seth? The debates flooded Reddit threads and YouTube comment sections. But whether people loved it or hated it, everyone was talking about it. And that's the point. Wrestling thrives on emotion, on conversation, on chaos, and this delivered all three, understanding the story beneath the shock. It's easy to say WWE ignored continuity, but maybe this was deeper. Maybe this wasn't forgiveness. It was necessity. Rollins and Reigns didn't suddenly become friends. They just understood they needed each other to survive. That's not lazy writing. It's realism. Because in life, sometimes you work with people you don't trust. Sometimes you stand beside the person you hate because the bigger fight demands it. That's maturity, not contradiction. And that's what made this story believable. What's next for Breakker and Reed? Even in defeat, Breakker and Reed came out looking like stars. They weren't squashed. They were warriors who fell in a battle that could have gone either way. Their loss sets the stage for revenge, and you can bet they won't take it quietly. Imagine the rematch. No cameras, no hesitation, just violence. Breakker's pride will push him harder. Reed's rage will make him even more dangerous. This isn't over. It's just beginning. The emotional core. At its heart, this wasn't about wins or losses. It was about trust and betrayal. Rollins and Reigns have one of the most layered rivalries in wrestling history. They've shared championships, betrayals, pain, and respect. Watching them stand together, even briefly, reminded fans why wrestling storytelling still works. Because it's about people. It's about emotions that don't just reset after every feud. It's about seeing two men who can't stand each other still find common ground in chaos. That's what makes it powerful. Conclusion. Wrestling at its best Saturday night's main event will be remembered for a lot of things. The shock, the athleticism, the storytelling, but above all, for making fans feel something again. WWE didn't just put on a match, they created a conversation. They blurred the line between hate and respect, between past and present. Seth Rollins walking away wasn't a rejection of Roman. It was a reminder that real stories take time. And when the next chapter comes, we'll all be watching.